So with solo leveling getting an anime, I decided to redo an all what if I did a while back. Yes, I did not finish it because I didn't like where the story was heading. Anyway, like usual, it will be a bit slow at the beginning, but I hope you guys will enjoy it. So sit back, relax, and hope you enjoy this video. So this story starts like any other begins. Well, for me and others specifically. Izuku will still have seen the childhood, like I'm not change anything from this. Well, I will change it a bit, but I will reveal it way later in the story. For plot reasons. Deal with it, this is how I roll. So our protagonist, Izuku Midoriya, is not having a good day, or a bad day. For him, it's worse. His ex-friend Katsuki Bakugo just destroyed his notebook and he told him to jump off the roof for a quirk. And that hurt him more than he thought, especially since they grew up together. But he sighed and he did what he always do. He licked his wounds and forced a smile on his face. But fate have another plans to him. me. Going through a tunnel, he was attacked by a sludge villain. He tried to run, but he was captured. Then the villain starts suffocating him. Don't worry, boy, it will only take a second. So stop resisting and let me take over your body. Izuku tried his best to resist, but in the end it was futile. Slowly everything turned black and he stopped breathing. And his heart followed soon after. But like comics, right before the sludge villain took over his body, All Might show up and one punch the villain. Kuki checking on Izuku and he found him he's not breathing. Luckily, being a hero, he was able to resuscitate him. At least that's what he thought. Unbeknownst to him, something else saved Izuku. Deep inside Izuku's mind, he's floating in an endless abyss, thinking this is afterlife, but something else popped up in front of him that sound weird. A menu is in front of him, and he's telling him if he wants to start over. He hesitates until he reads the small text. Selecting no meaning death. That freaked out Izuku and he chose yes. Then he opened his eyes in the real world, finding himself in the hospital. The doctor quickly checked on him after seeing he's awake, and he found out that he's healthy. Soon they called his mom. She was crying, of course, but soon calmed down after flooding the whole building. Then Izuku asked the meaning question. What happened? Well, son, you're lucky. A villain attacked you and managed to almost kill you, but All Might show up and was able to save you. Oh, I see. But a small part of Izuku is annoyed and freaking out. He met All Might and did not ask for his autograph. Well, we did some tests and you're okay. But then Midoriya family repeat after him. But it looks like that this little experience unlocked your quirk. What? They both shouted. Well, it is an extreme rare occasion, but it does happen sometimes. The X-ray of the pinky is not 100% correct. For example, All Might. He have two joints, but he does have a quirk. You're an exception, just like him. Although, I don't know the reason why your quirk took this long to manifest. Although it doesn't explain why that happened to you for it to awaken. Anyway, we will stay here for a couple of days to do some tests. After this, you are free to go. Sounds good? Izuku nodded dumbly, and the doctor left. His mom is excited for him. Finally, he can become a hero like he always wanted to. Izuku wanted to ask what his quirk is. Then a menu pop up in front of him. Welcome player, it say. Then it changed, it show his stats. Everything is 1, even his level. This is new, Izuku said. What's new? His mom asked. See what? Izuku shook his head. It's nothing. Then he started mumbling about him only being seeing it. What's up with the menu? It's like a video game. Then he saw his daily quest, and his jaw almost dropped. Maybe it will be a normal workout for someone that actually do sports, but him? So he decided to ignore it. The poor fool. Unbeknownst to his fate after doing that. After some time, his mom left and Izuku is sleeping until he was awake by the bright light, and he opened his eyes to see himself in the desert. Is he dreaming? He punched himself. Ow! I'm awake. So where I am. Then his menu pop up. This is your punishment for not doing your daily request. You have to survive for 4 hours in here. Good luck. Survive? I mean, it is a desert, so I need to find shelter? But then the ground rumbled and he saw a massive worm towering over him, and it looks like it won't eat him. Oh, I understand. Survive. That. It can't be worse, right? Then another worm show up, then another, then another. Okay, I got it. I need to keep my mouth shut and start running. And he does that for 4 hours. Fast forward 4 hours and he barely managed to escape. He dropped face first in his room in the hospital, covered with a bit of sand. He spit some of his mouth, then he looked at his menu. Congratulations on surviving, here's your reward. And tomorrow we'll repeat the same thing. So do your request or you will be punished. Izuku wanted to shout, but he sighed. This is his life now, so he better suck it up. After this, a couple of months passed. Izuku got used to his new routine. At first, it was hell for him, but he slowly started showing gains, especially after he's using his point correctly. On top of that, with the newly found confidence, he knew that he can use his notebook to his advantage, studying other heroes and improving his own techniques. Until one day, a special event began, and a key fell into his hand. He used it, and he found himself in a dungeon. Whoa, it resembles more and more like a video game. You only need monsters, and then a demon-looking wolf appeared not too far. Okay, at least it's only one. Then another. Then another. Then another. Okay, I get it now. My quirk hit me, and I need to stop jinxing myself. So I started fighting them. He tried to knock them out at first, but he found out that each time he knocked them out, it would only work for a few seconds. What to do, he started thinking. Then a window popped up. Kill the werewolves. Izuku froze for a bit. Kill them? He never killed anything before, and this hesitation cost him. He got slashed pretty deeply by one of the wolves, causing him to snap from his shock. Quickly dodging it, he found a sword in his inventory and started killing them. After he's done, he looked at the corpses, then they vanish. This will take some getting used to. Then after what seems hours, he was able to beat the dungeon, but he found himself a few blocks away from home. Okay, weird teleportation, but I guess it sounds right, since the exit point is not the entry. He sighed and went back home, but he didn't realize that while few hours passed for him, it's been only a couple of minutes for everyone else. Then another month passed. Izuku kept on with his daily request, with a few dungeons, and he explored his menu, aka his quirk, to his fullest capabilities, and he found out a few things. One, just like a video game, if he was injured when he fell asleep, he will be fully healed when he woke up. Second, the way he uses his points is extremely important. Luckily, Izuku is a bit of a nerd. Okay, scratch that. He was a nerd before he got his quirk, so that will work for his advantage. So you have both browns and brains. Good. And lastly, the dungeons are getting harder and harder. Last time he had to fight a gigantic boss, almost as tall as the worms. Luckily he has some skills now that will help him, but still, it's like his quirk is preparing him for something. And just like he thought, he got a request. A special one, to get a job. Izuku got excited. Finally he can get the job of a hero. So he prepared himself because he realized that he's growing. A lot. At first he thought that his quirk is making him grow, which is partially correct, because his quirk did improve his body a bit, but his training regiment, aka the daily request, and his constant fighting, that did most of the work. But his growth spurt was because of the time dilation inside his dungeons. By his estimate, he at least aged up 2 years, give or take a few months. But Izuku shook his head. He will deal with the consequences later. So after going to the dungeon, he found it even harder than the others, especially the final test. He had to fight a horde, and each time he killed one, 10 more appear. Damn it, it's like fighting a hydra. He quickly went invisible and started thinking. But the sorcerers in the group found him, forcing him to dodge quickly, giving him time to think and more time to survive, to gain more points. But this is a double-edged sword, because the more time passed, the bigger the horde become. He needed to find a way to escape, at least temporarily. He searched for his menu for anything that gave him time. And he found that because of his rush to get his job, he didn't do his daily request. For once, I'm happy that I will see those suckers. He dodged for a bit and he was teleported to the desert. And on cue, the worms show themselves. Izuku smoked and cracked his neck. Okay, round 2. And this time you are the prey. Fast forward 4 hours and Izuku is sitting on a worm that is dead. Very much dead. He have only a few seconds to go back. He prepared himself and went back to the horde. And it was big. Luckily he was fast enough to dispatch of the summoners, and he switched his focus to the horde. It took some time, but he did it. He got excited, thinking he finally got to choose which job he would get. But he was shocked when he got Necromancer. Then it was upgraded to Shadow Lord. Necromancer? Really? This have to be a sick joke. First Bakugo told me to jump from the roof to get a quirk, then I was killed to get my quirk. And now I can summon the dead? But he quickly took a deep breath and calmed himself, looking back how far he went and how weak he was. Sure, he was quirkless, but what made him weak was him listening to other people, letting them get inside his head, making him quit, or at the very least making him not try his hardest. But never again. I will become stronger. The strongest if I have to. And his usual green eyes shine blue, and he called out, "Arise." Of course he got Icarus, Fighting him was even tougher than all the horde combined. After this, he spent some time getting used to his summons, and also training with Icarus. As he found out and experienced, he's really good with the sword. On top of that, they're almost equal in strength. But now that he scratched this itch and getting a job, he need found this problem about his age figured out. If he keep going through dungeons like this, and for this long, he will be in his 20s by the end of the year. Is he concerned? Yes. Will he stop? No. He tried to figure out a solution, and at the same time testing his new skills. Then he encountered another roadblock. Sure, he's growing, but now he needs more XP, so he spent quite some time in a dungeon. Luckily, the Demon Castle dungeon have quite a lot of floors. So one day when he was done with some floors, he exited a bit far away from home, like always, but this time when he stepped in anyway, he found a group of thugs, or villains to be precise, hurting and beating up a group of people. And from the looks of it, one of them is already badly hurt. He can feel his blood rise, and he gets a small flashback of him in the same position, although not as bloody and beaten, but close. He smirked, thinking of teaching them a lesson. Then a request popped up in front of him that will change his life forever. Kill the thugs. Naruto froze. Kill them? Sure, he killed the monsters and whatever the creatures are inside his dungeons, but they were created by his quirk. These people are human beings. I won't do it. Then he saw the red text. You have 2 minutes to kill them, or your heart will stop. It can't be. My quirk will kill me? It won't do it, right? He think back to everything that happened so far. For crying out loud, it sent him into a desert full with human-eating centipede, gigantic one, for 4 hours straight for not doing his daily request. So yeah, his quirk will do it. So with a heavy heart, and surprisingly it was not much, he covered his face and grabbed his dagger. When the villains saw him, they tried to scare him off, or to hurt him to be the next victim. He doesn't know which, he's drawing blank. One of the villains charged at him, only to get his head cut off from his body. Avon froze. His face is covered with shadows, they can only see one of his glowing blue eyes. Don't worry about your friend, you will join him soon, and I will be quick. In the next few seconds, all the villains drop dead. The group were petrified at first. You're okay? Izuku asked. They snap from their shock and they nod. Call the cops and take him to the hospital. Luckily they didn't do any permanent damage. Then he slowly walked away. Wait. Thank you, whoever you are. Izuku turned a bit. Even though they cannot see his face, it's still covered with shadows. They can see his eyes and they soften a bit. You're welcome. Then he left. So some time passed and of course the cops tried to find Izuku, but with little to no evidence, they're drawing blank. And Izuku found the solution to his problem. Yue. Like he expected, it was a little bit hard to get a meeting with Nizu. Luckily he got one, a couple of weeks from now. So to spend the time, he continued his raid, and when he's done, once again he found himself, but this time he doesn't know where he is. Maybe in a different city? He tried using his phone, but he doesn't have any service. Weird. He passed a few people and he froze. Wait, that's English. That means I'm not in Japan anymore. What the hell is going on? Okay, to find a quiet place and teleport. Luckily I left a shadow with Mom. He was about to teleport, and then he heard some commotion. Against his better judgment, he checked her out. Maybe a hero is fighting so he can get his autograph. Hey, he's still a nerd. But when he got close, he found out that this group of people are surrounding a group of celebrities. He was going to leave until he saw someone attacking one of them. Dodging the security, they were able to plunge a knife right into her chest. Quickly surrounding her friend, trying to stop the bleeding, Izuku sent a couple of his shadows to grab the man before he escaped, and give them a mental command to beat him up a bit. Turning back to the group, he knew that the girl would not make it. The knife is quite deep, and she will die from blood loss before help arrive. Suddenly appearing in front of them, the group and the guards prepare themselves to fight, but Izuku lifted his hand up. I'm here to help, and he gave them a potion. Make her drink this. Luckily he knows English from watching All Might's videos. You know, since All Might spent a lot of time being a hero in US, they hesitate. Look, either you take my help or she will die in a couple of minutes. One of them reach out from what looks like a tail and grab the potion. Her golden eyes staring at Izuku's one. He's masking his face once again, and he can see in her eyes that she's cautious, and he cannot blame her for that. Quickly making her friend drink it, she sees that she got a bit of her color back. The medics will take too long to arrive. There is only one way, and Izuku's face hardened. Quickly picking her up, her 4 other friends try to protest and almost attack him, but Izuku somewhat glare at them, making them stop. Grab onto me, now. They hesitate for a second, but they grab him, and they instantly disappear. reappearing in front of the hospital. The four were shocked, but Izuku quickly called for help and they took her. Her four friends followed her, but Izuku didn't. And when they looked back, he disappeared. Izuku is on top of a building not too far away and he sighed. Great, now I'm stuck here for a few hours. After some time pass, Izuku can teleport again, but this time he decides to check on the group before he leaves. Sneaking in the hospital, he found a dark corner close to the group, and he can see relief in their face. So she's okay, Izuku suddenly spoke up, getting them on guard, but they calmed down when they saw him. Well, most of them since he covered his face. She will make it, one of them spoke up. Thanks to you. Whatever you gave her was slowly healing her, and without it she would have been killed. So thank you. She was almost in tears. Izuku smiled a bit, but they cannot see it, so he shook his head. You don't need to thank me. I was just in the right place in the right time. Surprisingly, we should thank you properly for what you did. Izuku thought for a bit. I know, don't mention it in the police report. The four froze. That's it? He nodded. I don't have my license and I am not from around here. You know what they say, not all good deeds go unpunished, and I'll be in a lot of trouble if people found out. Even though you cannot see my face, your friend might have, considering that she was so close to me. So when she woke up, told her to not say anything, and give them the same story. Just like you cannot see my face. The four looked at each other and nodded. We can do that, but that's it? You don't want anything else? Like a reward or something? Don't worry about it, Izuku cut them off. Like I said, right place, right time. That's all there is to it. Plus, I don't think we'll meet each other again. Ever. So you four take care, and goodbye. He stepped back in the shadows and disappeared. And now we have a meeting to prepare for. In Japan, in a certain lab, we see a doctor going through some reports. Quickly stopping at one, then he called his boss. Why are you calling me, doctor? Well, sorry sir, all for one, but I just found out something interesting. One previous test subject just reawakened their quirk. Orphan grin. Oh, you don't say. Who are they? Izuku Midoriya. And after hearing this, somehow Orphan's grin grew even more. And I think that's it for the first part. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So don't forget to drop a like and share it. It will help me quite a lot. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.